श्रील प्रभुपाद गुरुदेव की जय। जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरावनचारी। यमुना तीरावनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा हरे राम राम हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपद श्रील प्रभुपद। जय प्रभुपद श्रील प्रभुपद। प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय। पतित पावन निताय गौर सुंदर शिशि किशोर किशोरी जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा देवी श्रील प्रभुपाद की गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल। थैंक यू। नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। आराध्यो भगवान व्रजेश तनयस् तद्धाम वृंदावनम। रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधुवर्गेण तया कल्पिता। श्रीमद्भागवत पुराण अमलम प्रेम पुमार्थो महान्। श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभोर्मतैदं नायत्रयाग्रह परः। नवनीरदनिन्दित कान्तिधरम् रसोसागर नागर भूपवरम् शुभवंकिमचारु शिखंड शिखिं भज कृष्णानिधिं व्रजराजसुतं। भज कृष्णानिधिं व्रजराजसुतं। राधिका सरोदइन्दु निन्दिमुखमण्डली वन्दिये श्रीपादपद्मा वृषभानु नन्दिनी। वन्दिये श्रीपादपद्मा वृषभानुनन्दिनी। वन्दिये श्रीपादपद्मा वृषभानुनन्दिनी। आजानुलम्बितो भुजौ कनकायवधातो संकीर्तनै पितरवो कमलायताक्षो। विश्वम्भरो द्विजवरो युगधर्मपालो वन्दे जगत्प्रियकरो करुणा अवतारो। पतित पावन निताय गौर सुंदर की जय। श्री किशोर किशोरी की जय। जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा देवी की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद गौड़ीय गुरुवर्ग की जय। So my humble obeisances unto all the assembled Vaishnavas. May the words that emanate from my mouth be pleasing to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, and the entire Gaudiya Guru Varga. I am full of faults and many irregularities in my life, but I'm trying my best by their mercy to speak something as it is in line of our Gaudiya Vaishnavas, in the line of Rupanugas. So it's just so wonderful to be back again to my home away from home, which is New Seva Kunj Shri Kishore Kishori Temple, where I spent about 28 years. And you can say my spiritual life actually practically began here. Although I was born in a Vaishnava family, but I didn't know anything about Krishna. So it is Srila Prabhupada and the Vaishnavas here at New Seva Kunj who bestowed their mercy and made me eligible today to go wherever I am, trying to follow the instructions of Srila Prabhupada and trying to assist His Divine Grace in His project of preaching that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted. In every town and village, my name will be spread, Mahaprabhu said. And it was the desire of Mahaprabhu that Jare dekho tare kaho Krishna updesh. Whenever you get the opportunity, Jivan sarthak kari karo paro avtar. Make your life successful and give this Krishna consciousness to everyone. So I'm very thankful to the management of ISKCON Chicago that they consider me of some value. And I hope next week, starting 6th of October, is Kartik. So Kartik is the most auspicious month in all the 12 months in the Vedic calendar. And today we will discuss some of the most important points jam packed in the session that I have that would end by 6:30 and maybe 5 minutes earlier so that we can take a question or two or some clarifications or comments. So we are all looking for advancement, aren't we? Whether in material life, and especially devotees are looking for advancement in spiritual life. And which is a very good aspiration. Because if we are stagnant, then that's not a good thing. But our aspiration should always be how to advance further and further and further. And especially in our Krishna conscious journey. Excuse me. So, the days like Ekadashi, which are known as Madhav Tithi, and the month like Kartik are very dear to Radha and Krishna. And if we keep some vows or vratas, as it's said in Sanskrit, then not only we will advance, but also it will please them. Our goal is to please Radha Krishna. Somebody asked Naradji, can you please describe just in 2 or 3 lines what is topmost bhakti? So Naradji in the Narad Bhakti Sutra and later on adopted by Srila Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasam Sindhu, it is said, Anya Bilashata Shunya. One should not have any material desires. Zero. Jnana Karma Anavritam. Not even for Jnana and Karma. Jnana and Karma are important only to the point until we enter Bhakti. After that, we have to give those up as well. Jnana Karma Anavritam. If we get stuck in Jnana and Karma, then Shuddha Bhakti is not going to be possible. So Jnana Karma Anavritam, Anukulyana Krishna Anushilanam, Tad Bhakti Ruttam. That is Uttam Bhakti or topmost Bhakti, is whatever we do, whatever activities we perform, should be conducive, should be pleasing to Krishna. And when I say Krishna, like Prabhupada has said many times in his purports, Krishna means Krishna is never alone. He's always with his associates, his intimate associates, Srimati Radharani and her coward friends, etc., the Vrajvasis. So it is mentioned in the Hari Bhakti Vilas that was composed by Sanatan Goswami and Gopal Bhatta Goswami combined. They were both the co-authors. And Hari Bhakti Vilas is the law book of the Vaishnavas. Just like we have law books that govern the judicial system, that govern any government at the city level, state level, or the federal level, as an example. So there are law books that have been compiled by these topmost two of the Vaishnava Goswamis. Out of the 6, these 2 have combined Hari Bhakti Vilas. And it is mentioned that in Hari Bhakti Vilas, Kartik is very dear to Lord Krishna. And there are about 15 or 16 major points that they have enlisted for Kartik Vrata, which I will quickly mention. In Kartik, in the month of Kartik, we should all rise in Brahma Muhurat early in the morning. Brahma Muhurat is generally, it starts at about 3 a.m. in the morning. And it lasts till about sunrise. So anywhere between those hours is considered Brahma Muhurat. Very, very auspicious. And we should attend Mangal Arti. What does Mangal Arti mean? Mangal means auspicious. So when we attend Mangal Aarti, then our day becomes auspicious. Not only our day, our week, our year, our life, our whole existence will become auspicious. Mangal Aarti. And therefore, that is the gateway to the spiritual world. Then we should offer incense, ghee lamp, flowers. It's mentioned like malti flowers, lotus flowers, rose flowers, jasmine, lilies, etc., and camphor lamp 3 times a day. Of course, whatever is most practical and whatever we are most capable of, we should do. But at least we should do at least one out of all these that I'm about to mention. Daily, a ghee lamp to Radha Damodar deities should be offered, or any Radha Krishna deities. And we should sing Damodar Ashtakam. We should sing Damodar Ashtakam. We should maintain an akhanda. Akhanda means one thing I would always request, please silent your phones. Hari Katha, Hari Kirtan, Hari Naam, Hari Leela are non-different. If we don't respect that, our own faith, how do we expect the world to respect us? Sometimes in India, mostly nowadays, they complain that, oh, Sanatan Dharma is depleting. Well, why not? What are we doing to save our Vedic culture? How much do we respect our own culture? So it's very important. And most of the time, I have to spend about 5 minutes just trying to touch on this topic, which is not related, but it's important. Sometimes we see in our temples the children are playing around when kirtan is going on, katha is going on. But do you see that in the church? When a father is speaking a sermon, there is pin drop silence. Everybody, no children are playing in the aisles. When a Maulvi or a priest is leading prayers in a mosque, everybody is following the leader. No children are playing in the aisle, no phone calls are buzzing. Then why can't we do that? Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tamsa tathaiva bhajamiham. The way you reciprocate with me, I reciprocate back with you. So if we keep Krishna on a back burner, and if we think that this is a playground or a place to socialize and pick up the phone where we don't have even a little bit of control on ourselves, then how can we expect the highest of the highest? So please, it's my earnest request. I beg each one of you to be aware of that and pass it on to everyone else. That way we can all progress in our spiritual lives. Does that make sense to everybody, what I just said? Yeah, thank you so much. So as I was saying, offering a ghee lamp to Radha Damodar or any deity of Krishna, Radha Krishna, and sing Damodar Ashtakam. And then there should be an akhanda ghee lamp. Akhanda means always burning before the deity or in front of Tulsi Devi. So that's one of the vratas. And then we should offer sweet rice mixed with ghee and tasty food and varieties of fruits. We should offer parikrama or circumambulation of the temple 4 times in the month of Kartik daily. And that way, we actually said in the Hari Bhakti Vilas that we will get the merit of Ashwamedha Yagya with every step while performing the parikrama of the temple circumambulation. So Ashwamedha Yagya is it's called a horse sacrifice. Actually, Ashwa means white horse sacrifice. In the previous ages, the kings or the emperors used to let them loose. And they used to do that for the benefit of all the kingdoms, where if the horse was not caught by any king, then that king would be subservient to the emperor, and the emperor would protect the king and their kingdom. And that is meant for protection, not for some kind of what we see today in politics is corruption. Those were Raj Rishis. They were kings saintly kings. So we get the benefit of that. We should offer water and prasadam to our ancestors, to our pitrus. So our forefathers, we just instructed, and try not to, please. Thank you. Please silent that phone. Whose phone was that? Okay, give it to somebody who can. Thank you. So our forefathers, those who have, due to the onslaught of Maya, the three modes of material nature, may have committed sinful activities, etc. They may be suffering in the different in a hell called Pitru Narak. It's a there is a hell known as Pitra. So that we just had the Pitru Paksha, the Shraddha month, and that is meant for offering our prayers, our oblations to our forefathers, so that they can be released and they can get liberated. So in Kartik, if someone simply offers some water in front of a picture, or even from within the heart to their forefathers, then Krishna within our hearts will recognize that, and they will certainly be liberated from those hellish conditions, or even from the repeated birth and death. They will be uh, relieved. That is why in Sanskrit or in many of the Indian languages, we find that the word putra. How many of you are familiar with the word putra? In most languages. It's the same word. So what does it mean? In Sanskrit, basically it means Puta namak trayati iti putra. One who liberates the forefathers from the hell known as Put is known as Putra. Tra means trayati. Trayati means to deliver. Then the other activities can be in Kartik is a camphor lamp with aguru oil, and especially on the Ekadashi that fall in the month of Ekadashis. There are two Ekadashis in the month of Kartik. Every month there is two Ekadashis. And then if we just do that, there is no rebirth, guaranteed. Eh? Offer flesh flower garlands like rose or lotus and sandalwood paste, and offer new clothes to our deities. Offer 100,000 tulsi leaves in the month of Kartik to Krishna. That's amazing. How many of can really do that? But these are some of the guidelines that are there. Daily offer incense, ghee lamp, and flowers to Tulsi and circumambulate her. And also, if we relight somebody else's lamp, so we find while we are in the temple, there are many devotees who are standing to light a lamp, and one devotee can just simply light it for a few around him or her, then that itself is very beneficial, will attain unlimited merit and not see Yamraj. Wow, unknowingly or knowingly, we have all done that. Have we not? While the Damodar Ashtakam is going on and devotees are lighting the lamp, and we just simply help somebody else light their own lamp, then we will never see Yamraj. What an ironclad guarantee. Also in Kartik, we can offer water to the moon, just like every day in the Vedic culture, they offer water to the Surya Dev or to sun. But in Kartik, we should offer it to the moon. Why to the moon? Because Krishna is in the dynasty of the moon. He's known as Jaduvanshi. So if you offer water just to the moon, if you see the moon and you simply offer water standing in your balcony or in your backyard or front yard or wherever, then that is beneficial in the month of Kartik. Offering a floating ghee lamp. We find that in Vrindavan. By the mercy of Guru Gauranga and Vaishnavas, tomorrow my wife and I, we are leaving from O'Hare. Oh Hare! to Vrindavan Dham. So we'll be gone for about 6 months. So I seek your blessings. So we see when we are in Vrindavan, when we are at Keshi Ghat, we are at Radha Kund. Many, many kundas are there in Vraj. And every day at twilight, we find so many lamps floating in the river Jamuna, in the kundas, in the ponds of Vraj. So that is one of the vratas in Kartik. And last but not the least, enthusiastically dancing, singing, playing musical instruments. Huh? We sing that in the Mangalarti every day. What is the symptom of a pure guru? Huh? Anybody? What is that verse? See, we sing those bhajans or sometimes recite mantras, but we should try to understand the meaning behind it. At least the basics or the fundamentals. Mahaprabhu Kirtan Nitya Gita Vaditra Madhyan Manaso Rasena Romanchakam Pashru Taranga Bhajo Vande Guroho Sri Charnar. And the same activities of singing, dancing enthusiastically, if we do that in Kartik, everything in Kartik multiplies by thousands. So even if we chant one holy name or one, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, it is multiplied 1,000 times. So, if on a regular basis, especially the initiated devotees, recommendation is minimum how many rounds? How many? No. Prabhupada said no. Minimum 16 good rounds. There is a fine word there that we miss out. 16 good rounds. So we minimum 16 good rounds we do. But if we do that in Kartik, that you can multiply one round equals to 1,000 and 16 rounds will equal to 16,000 rounds. That is the benefit of Kartik. It's so powerful. This Kartik month is known as Urja month. Urja in Sanskrit means very, very powerful, very, very bright. And who is Urjeshwari? Srimati Radharani. So actually this month is not of Krishna. It's a misconception. It is named Damodar month, but it is the month of Srimati Radharani. So try to take this within your hearts, and the rest of the discourse will be spent on how we connect the devotion to Sri Radha when it comes to the Kartik month and Damodar Ashtakam. But on the same token, caution, if we commit offenses or sins in Kartik, it is also multiplied by 1,000 times. So, if we want the benefit of 1,000 times, then we also take the risk if we do not behave nicely. The effect is also 1,000 times. So, we have to be extremely careful when we are dealing with everyone, just not the temple devotees, but everyone. And try our best, because Kartik helps us in controlling our senses. If we are able to control our senses, then we can really become pure devotees. The difference between the pure devotees and the normal or the other devotees is pure devotees' senses are fully controlled and ours are not. That is one basic difference. So, Urjeshwari Srimati Radharani, it is mentioned in the same Hari Bhakti Vilas that Radhika Pratimam Vipraha Pujyet Kartike Tu Yaha Tasya Tushyati Tat Priyaya Shriman Damodaro Hari Iti. This is from Hari Bhakti Vilas again. O Brahmins, during the month of Kartik, one should worship Sri Radha. One should worship Sri Radha. Very clear here that Tat Priyai Shriyam Srimam Damodaro Hari. Who is Priya to Damodar? Radharani. What is that last verse that we sing in the Damodar Ashtakam? Namo Radhikayai Tvadiya Priyayai. One who is most dear to Krishna. Same thing Hari Bhakti Vilas is saying in this verse. That, O Brahmins, during the month of Kartik, one should worship Sri Radha. And to please Srimati Radharani, Lord Damodar, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, will be pleased with that worshipper. So once we please Srimati Radharani, automatically Krishna is pleased. Krishna must please us. He has no choice. If we please Radharani, Krishna must be pleased with us. That is the formula. He doesn't have a choice. Damodar Ashtakam Nama Stotram. The Damodar Ashtakam, the 8 verses, the stotra or the prayers. Damodar Archaram Nityam. One should sing the Damodar prayers recited every day in Kartik. Damodar Akarshi Pathet Satyavrotidam. And Lord Damodar will be attracted. And the prayers especially written by Satyavrat Muni. That has been. Now, there may be many prayers in the Shastras, in the scriptures, that glorify Krishna or Damodar, but why in particular the prayers by Satyavrat Muni? And especially, what is our connection as Gaudiya Vaishnavas to this Damodar Ashtakam prayers, which was compiled in some Satya Yuga by Satyavrat Muni? We cannot even say which Satya Yuga, because the 4 yugas is a continuous cycle, and billions and trillions and those cycles continue one after another. So it is mentioned in those Puranas about this conversation, especially Naradji is speaking about how Satyavrat Muni has composed these prayers. And in these prayers, basically it is said that Krishna and Satyavrat Muni. Now, the reason why I mention is because this is connected with the glories of this month of Kartik. And also, from next week onwards, when we sing the Damodar Ashtakam, we should try to remember these things as much as we can, so that our bhava, our transcendental sentiments will slowly graduate from one level to another. Because for years we have been singing Damodar Ashtakam, but how many of us really know its ordinary meaning? We do read the translation. It is great. We should. But then, after 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, some of us 50, 60 years in the movement, we seriously have no idea why these prayers have been selected and so dear to our Gaudiya Acharyas like Rup Sanatan Jiva Goswami. Why are they so dear? Gopala Bhatta Goswami, why are they so dear? Because here it specifies, starting with the very first verse, Namami Ishwaram Satchitananda Rupam Lasada Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam. What is next? Yashoda Diyulu Khalat Davamanam Paramashtam Datyanto Tato Dhrutu Gyopya. Very briefly, I will touch upon these 8 verses. Because if I go into every verse, I have done many seminars by the mercy of Guru Gauranga on Damodar Ashtakam, even in Vrindavan Dham, in our Krishna Balram Mandir. And each seminar is at least 2 hours and they last sometimes 7 to 8 days. So, if we really want to dive deep into it, then that's another time and a place for that. But just so that we are setting the stage for Kartik. So here Satyavrat Muni is first declaring that there are many Ishwaras or many controllers. The word Ishwar in Sanskrit means controller. So there are so many forms of the Supreme Lord. Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Ananta Rupam Adhyam Purana Purusham Nav Yavanam Cha Vedesha Durlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhakta Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. There are so many forms of the Lord and so many different. Anadi means uncountable. You cannot count them. But Satyavrat Muni says, I am only concerned with that Lord, that Ishwar, who is in Vraj, Gokule Vrajamana. So that is the lordships. Like we have Lord Ramachandra and his associates. They are in Saket, in Ayodhya. But Satyavrat Muni is not interested in that. Or there is the different lordships of Dwarka and Mathura, and Lord, so many 27 different forms of Lord Narayana. There is so many different forms of the Lord, their lordships. 75% of Vaikuntha is full of different planets. We are minorities. 25% is material world, and in the material world there are millions and billions of Brahmans or universal systems. And we are in one small Brahman headed by one small Brahma who's got 4 heads. And we are in this one earthly planet. And can you imagine that we are 25% of minorities? 75% is the liberated spiritual world known as Vaikuntha, where there is no anxiety of birth, death, old age and disease. So, Satyavrat Muni, that is why it has attracted the attention of our Gaudiya Acharyas, that I am interested in that Ishwar who is splendorously performing his pastimes in Gokul, Gokule Vrajamana, where I can see that by the love of Mother Yashoda, he is bound due to his mischief. Mother Yashoda, Lasada Kundalam, his earrings are frolicking on his cheeks. Satyavrat Muni is praising how fortunate the earrings are, that the earrings are able to kiss Damodar on his cheeks. What kind of good deeds or piety those earrings must have done that they get to kiss the cheeks of Krishna in the form of Damodar. So he is here, first of all, describing, and this commentary is, if anybody is interested, one can go into Sanatan Goswami's Digdarshini. It's a commentary within Hari Bhakti Vilas that especially explains in Sanskrit his composition and very, very detailed about Damodar Ashtakam. So he says here first he praises Krishna in Gokul. Then he praises his ornaments. So first he's talking about his Aishwarya. Some people are of the misconception that there is no Aishwarya in Vraj. No. The Aishwarya in Vraj is of the topmost. If we read about in Chaitanya Charitamrita conversation during the Rath Yatra season on the 5th day of the Rath Yatra, it is known as Hera Panchami, where Lakshmi Devi comes from the temple from Dwarka, which is the Jagannath temple. It is the representation of Dwarka. And Krishna has gone to Vrindavan, which is Gundicha Mandir, which is about 3 kilometers away. But that is the representation. And Mahaprabhu used to dance along with his associates, pulling the cart in the Rath Yatra, taking the Lord from Dwarka to Vrindavan. And when Lakshmi Devi comes on the 5th day, seeing that her husband has not returned to Dwarka, she comes with her associates and starts ordering Krishna, come back. Just like sometimes we find that the wife orders, how long have you been outside? Come back home now, it is enough. Right? She's upset on the phone. You said you'll be back. That happens to me quite a bit with my wife. I said I'll be back in half an hour. And I don't come back in 2 hours. She is very upset. You said you were just going to be back in half an hour. You told me that you were just going out just to get some fresh air because you were sick. And you're gone for like several days and you have not come home. So she is upset. So at that time, Srivas Acharya, out of the Panch Tattva, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas. So Srivas Acharya, who actually is on the side of Lakshmi Devi. This is a drama that they're enacting. And on one side is Swarup Damodar Goswami, who is none other than Lalita Sakhi in Krishna Leela, who is the most intimate associate along with Rai Ramanan Vishaka Saki in the Gambira in Jagannath Puri. So they are having a debate, a transcendental debate. Which one is more opulent, your Vaikunt or Vrindavan? So Srivas Acharya says, oh, you Vrajvasis don't even have shoes to wear. Oh, you Vrajvasis don't even have proper, even Lakshmi Devi, she is upset and she says, what? Look at the golden palace we have. What are you all staying in? You all don't even have proper food. You're just eating some lump of butter on some dry piece of bread or roti. That is your food. What are you guys? You're tending cows? That's your business? Look at our Vaikuntha. Even the poorest of poorest in our Vaikuntha has got everything made of gold in their houses and their homes. And look how opulent it is. So Sarup Damodar Goswami, when they debate then, he says, or even a drop, mark my words please, even a drop of Vaikuntha, even a drop of Vrindavan is not equal to the entire opulence of Vaikuntha. That's how opulent Vraj is. Why? Think about it. We sing that every day in the Darshanarti. What is that? Chintamani prakara sadmashu kalpa vriksha lakshatvateshu surbhi ravir palayantam lakshmi sahastra sada sambrama sevyamanam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. Chintamani. The dust of Vrindavan is like whatever you think, it is Chintamani, it is given to you. Kalpa vriksha, desire trees, lakshatvateshu, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,000. Hundreds of thousands of desire trees. So if one bhakta or a gopa or a gopi stands under a kalpa vriksha and says, you know what, today I want to decorate Krishna with the best rubies and diamonds, and today we will decorate his Nikunja with beautiful rubies and diamonds and the most expensive jewels, so be it. The entire opulence of Vaikuntha can be covered in just one thought and a wish of the Vrajvasi standing under a kalpa vriksha. So we can safely conclude that the opulence in Vraj is the most supreme, and therefore that opulent personality who is residing in Vraj, I'm only interested in him. Yashodabhiyulukalavanam paramishtam atyantato dhritya gopya. And I see that how he got scared, and Mother Yashoda was able to bind him due to his naughty nature with his love. Can anybody tie up Lord Narayana? Can anybody tie up Lord Ramachandra? When Shabri, out of love, that old disciple of Matang Muni, waited for so many years for Lord Ramachandra because her guru said, did you keep cleaning this path? And one day your Lord Ramachandra will give you darshan, he will come. And she was a very young girl at that time. But she followed Guru's instruction. And every day she cleaned the path. And every day she would gather some berries, thinking that one day he will come, any moment he will come, and I have nothing to offer. So I will offer these berries to him. Finally, in her old age, Lord Ramachandra appeared right there. And when she saw Lord Ramachandra's lotus feet, she was in ecstasy and she offered some of the berries that she used to collect every day, and she started tasting them. And sometimes she would keep some aside, and sometimes the ones that were very sweet that she tasted, she offered it to Lord Rama. Immediately, Lakshman got upset. Hey, you know what you're doing? This is Vaikuntha Adipati. How can you give your half-eaten berry to this great personality? Ayodhyapati Ram. Ramchandra Bhagwan, he consoled Lakshman. Lakshman, don't do this. She just means best. She wanted to give me the best, sweetest of all fruits. So one example in the entire Ramayana is that kind of Vraj Bhav is in Shabri. Otherwise, we cannot find any such bhav in any other devotee, not even Lord Hanuman. Not to disrespect him, because it is a specialty and it is in Dasya Rasa. Whereas in Dasya Rasa or any other rasa that is there in Vaikuntha, one cannot be equal to the Lord of Vaikuntha. But in Vraj, you can be equal to Krishna. Krishna, you lost the game. So what? You are the son of Nanda Maharaj and your father has 900 cows, but you lost. You catch your ears and you squat. And immediately he would do that. But who would dare do that to Lord Ramachandra in Vaikuntha? And that is one of the reasons that Lord Narayana from Vaikuntha had to come down by through the curse of Jai Vijay, because he wanted to feel the Virya Rasa, the rasa of chivalry, the Kshatriya rasa. But nobody wanted to even spar with him in Vaikuntha. How dare we kind of even lift a sword in practice or a mace just to even practice with our Lord? So therefore he had to make the arrangements by the four Kumaras cursing Jai Vijay, and then to perform those, enact those pastimes. Right? His chivalry was rekindled by first killing Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, and then further on into the other avatars of the two brothers, Ravan and Kumbhakarna, and then Shishupal and Dantavakra. So like that. So further we find in this Damodar Ashtakam especially that out of love he was bound. One thing is so wonderful that Jiva Goswami explains, that when our love exceeds the love of Krishna, then we can bind him. I will repeat this sentence again. Please try to absorb it. It's something worth meditating. When the love of a devotee exceeds the love of Krishna, yes, it is possible. When our love exceeds the love of Krishna, then we can bind Krishna like Mother Yashoda could bind. Now, the word Damodar, what does that mean? Dam means a rope and Udar means stomach. So one who is tied with a rope on the belly, that particular personality is known as Damodar. So here we find the Satyavrat Muni is wonderfully seeing all this. And this is a subtle conversation between Satyavrat Muni and Krishna, like how we sometimes talk and interact with each other. So this entire Damodar Ashtakam is a conversation, Sukshma Samvad, a subtle conversation. So here Satyavrat Muni is first praising his opulence in Vraj, in Gokul. Then he's praising his jewelry, the earrings especially. Then he's praising the Leela in Gokul of how he got caught and Mother Yashoda bound him by her love. So here we find in the Damodar Leela a component of the prem of Yashoda Devi, of the love, how she was able to bind Krishna with love. And at that time, Krishna is very pleased with Satyavrat Muni. So he says, okay, great. You have praised my opulence in Vraj. You have praised my jewelry, especially my earrings. You have praised my mother. You have praised Idriksa Leela Bir Ananda Kunde Swagosha Nimanjanta Makhya Payanta. And you have praised all my little big and small pastimes in Vraj. I've drowned the Vrajvasis in an ecstasy or pool of my pastimes. So stop. What do you want? Sometimes when somebody is praising us, oh Prabhu, nice kurta. Or when we go to somebody's office, hey, nice tie, huh? I like your hat. That's the American way of breaking the ice. That's how they speak. So then the person thinks, okay, what do you want now? Tell me, why have you come here? So similarly, Krishna is telling Satyavrat, okay, that's great. You've already eulogized me enough. How can I help you? What do you want? So Satyavrat Muni doesn't say anything. So then Krishna says, okay, fine. I will give you liberation. And what does Satyavrat Muni says? What is that verse? The fourth verse. Everybody has to kind of revamp on their Damodar Ashtakam 6 days to count down. Varam deva moksham na moksham avdimva. he immediately calls Krishna with a formal name. In our explanations, the Acharya says there are two types of categories of names of the Lord. One is formal and one that is known as Gaurniya Nam. And the one is Vishesh Nam, Pramukh Nam. Pramukh Nam is like what? Kishore, Kishori, Radha Raman, Gopinath, Govinda, Damodar. Those are known as Vishesh Nam. Yashodanandan. Because there the pastimes of the Krishna are associated with the name, or the pastimes of the Vaishnavas are associated with his name. And what is Gaurniyanam? O Lord, O Bhagwan, O God, O Paramatma. Those are known as Gaurniyanam. So, here he has become very serious, Satyavrat Muni, when Krishna offers him liberation. Varam Deva. Var means one who gives Vardhan. Deva means the deity, the Lord who gives benedictions. He cautions him, Varam Deva, with very seriousness and upset. Moksham, I do not want liberation. Okay, no problem. I know you're upset, my dear Satyavrat. Let me offer you, because there are so many sadhus sitting in line, yogis. For millions and billions of years, they have been drilling the respiration. Pantastu koti, satvatsara sampragamyo, vayo rathapi manaso, muni pungavana. Millions and millions of years, the thousands of years, they're drilling the respiration, sitting in pranayam, trying to control their prana, their chakras, right? Sitting in the different yogic postures. But I will put you in front of the line and I will give you liberation. He says, no, don't even think about it. Varam Deva Moksham. Because moksha is even given to all the personalities who Krishna or Krishna's avatars kill. So the demons, they automatically by default, they get moksha. So he says, okay, fine. I know you're a higher category. Krishna kind of tests Satyavrat Muni. Says, I will give you moksha in Avad. Moksham Avdim. Avad means Vaikuntha. Avdimva. He says, no. Don't even offer me that. No cha anya. Anya means other. Now the word anya or the word other has been wonderfully explained by Sanatana Goswami as anya means the other bhakti of Dhruv and Prahlad also I do not desire. Because if I get the bhakti of Dhruv and Prahlad, I will eventually end up in Vaikuntha. So I've already rejected that. So why should I even be interested in it? So then Krishna himself resigns and says, okay, my dear Satyavrat, what do you want? So he says, Idam te vapurnatham gopalavalam sadame manasi avirashtam kimanye. This wonderful pastime that I saw of your childhood pastimes in Gokul, please eternally let them manifest in my heart. I do not desire anything else. Krishna says, Tathastu, so be it. And then later on, a little bit of greed develops in the 5th verse, wherein now he desires, he sees not only Mother Yashoda kissing Damodar. What is that verse, the 5th one? Quickly, we are running out of time. What is that? Moschim vitam bimba rakta dharambe. Right? The red cheeks of Krishna are being kissed again and again and again by Mother Yashoda. But it is just not Mother Yashoda, because here the progression of bhakti has developed into Madhurya Rasa by Satyavrat Muni. He not only sees Mother Yashoda, but further he sees the gopis kissing Krishna. And Damodar means not only Krishna, the baby boy Krishna who was tied by Mother Yashoda, it is also when Krishna was sometimes late trying to meet Radharani and he never showed up. Next time he showed up, he was tied to a tamal tree. And therefore also he is known as even Kishore Krishna when tied by the gopis or by Srimati Radharani with the upper garment to a tamal tree. Therefore he is also known as Damodar. So until the 4th verse, the principle is there of pure bhakti, but it's the 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th verse that goes into Raganuga Bhakti, into Vraj Bhav, especially the Madhurya Rasa, which I don't unfortunately have the time to go into. But that is the reason, because we are not interested in Vatsalya Rasa of Krishna. Vatsalya Rasa is for the other Vaishnavas like Sri Vallabhacharya and Pustimar, etc., who consider Krishna as their child. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came specifically to give us that Madhurya Rasa Bhav. And if we have failed to understand that, then we have wasted our seat in ISKCON. Just like somebody who gets a topmost college, we get an engineering seat or a medical seat. And then instead of in the medical college, the professors are teaching medical sciences, and the doctor to be is thinking about music or literature or some other subject, then would you not call it seat wasted? So similarly, my dear devotees, please try to understand who we are, what our identity is. One last point I will make that Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kuru nandana bahusaka hi anantascha samadhau na vidiyate. Those whose minds are resolute or multi-branch like a tree, they will never attain perfection, even in spiritual life. So if one is a worshipper of demigods, if you are worship one demigod, concentrate at the lotus feet of that demigod so that they will be pleased with you one day and they will take you to Krishna. If one has taken to the path of Krishna consciousness or the path of Vaishnavism where one is a worshipper of Lord Narayana or any other avatar of the Lord, then take to that particular avatar of the Lord and concentrate on them. If we are devotees of Krishna, then Prabhupada said there are many types of Krishna, but we are only concerned with the son of Nanda Maharaj. So there is Krishna in Dwarka, is known as Dwarkadish. There is Krishna in Mathura, known as Mathuresh. But there is Krishna in Vrindavan, known by different names as Kishore, Kishori, known as Radha Raman, Radha Gopinath, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Govind Devji, Radha Damodar, etc., Radha Rasbihari, Radha Madhav. Those are the ones that we are concerned with. So we have to have one pointed attention. Yes, in the beginning, just like the general class, we learn all the subjects, but as we are graduating, it must taper into a particular highest consciousness. And Mahaprabhu came us to give us this wonderful Madhuri Rasa Prem, which Satyavrat Muni ultimately obtains. And that is why in the last verse he's saying, Namo Radhikaye, Tvadiya Priyaye, Namo Ananta Leelaya Devaya Tubhyam. He attains the Madhurya Rasa by the mercy of Srimati Radharani. And he offers first his obeisances to the rope that actually binds him, whether bound by Mother Yashoda or bound by the gopis of Vrindavan. Namaste tu damne sfurat dipti damne tvadiya udaraya tha vishwasya dhamne. Namo radhikaya tvadiya priyaya namo anta leelaya devaya tubhyam. So, please, my dear devotees, take this month very seriously. Chant more, read more, and of the 15 things I've mentioned, whatever you can do, but the minimum, offer a lamp. Come to the temple, and every day they have in the evening the Damodar, and even in the morning they have the ghee lamps. This facility is there, no matter which temple of ISKCON you are in the world. This facility in Vrindavan, there is like thousands of people at one time. And it is so amazing that everybody is so close to each other with all the pushing and everything. By the grace of Radha Shyam Sundar Lalita Vishaka, not a single person is injured. I mean, literally, if you go online, you will see it. There is no room to even step inside, not only the temple, but even the temple quadrangle, and even outside the temple. People have to line up, push, and somehow or the other make it inside to offer the lamps. So that is the bhav of Kartik bhav. So remember, when we sing Damodar Ashtakam, it is not for obtaining the bhav of Bal Gopal or of the childhood pastimes. It is eventually to obtain the bhav of the gopis of Vraj. Aradhyo Bhagwan Vrajishtanes, Tad Dham Vrindavanam. Out of so many different Ishwaras, we are only concerned with Vrajesh. Vrajesh means the king of Vrindavan and his son, Nanda Maharaj. Nand Maharaj's son. Tat Dham, and so many dhams are there, but we are only concerned as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Tat Dham Vrindavan. This verse is from Chaitanya Manjusha, composed by Kavi Karnapurna. So, uh, and then Ramya Kachit Upasna Vrajavadu Vargena Taya Kalpita. We have to follow in the footsteps of the Vraj Gopis of how to worship Krishna, how to love Krishna. So singing Gopi Geet, singing Nandanandan Ashtakam, those are two very important Ashtakams that along with Damodar Ashtakam, these three Ashtakams one should sing every day. And that is for the pleasure of Srimati Radharani. And if Radharani is pleased, automatically Krishna is pleased. So we pray to Shishi Kishore Kishori Srila Prabhupada and our Vaishnava Acharyas that our Kartik becomes successful and we can try to assist others to make their Kartik successful. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Gurudev ki, Gaur Premanande.